Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday spot in the Pagan Perspectives. This week we have, again, two questions or two requests, or one subject request, one question. The first one is from the Gentle Witch 14, and they write, I was curious if a subject can be done on empathy and how it can impact your spiritual, mental, and physical life. Can it be mistaken for illness by other people when really you are just not controlling it or don't know how? Okay, on this one, these questions can pretty much be summed up pretty easily. And so hopefully I can do it in the most articulating manner. Empathy, if you guys aren't, well versed in it, is the ability to feel what other people are feeling, their aches, their pains, their emotions. The way it can, play a part, the way it can impact your spiritual life is, these can all be good or bad. They can be great, they can be terrible. The spiritual aspect, if you are surrounded by people who are spiritually uplifting and very accepting and very, very much want you to succeed in your spiritual life, let's say that, then you're in turn going to feel uplifted. You're going to get these emotions of spiritual fulfillment that you want, and it could make you a better spiritualist, let's say. I know some people don't like the term witch or, anything like that, because it doesn't pertain to them, but spiritualist. That seems like a well-rounded way to put it. But again, if you are surrounded by people who are, pretty much bigots towards your religion, their hatred will make you feel like you're just down in the dumps and you don't want to do anything dealing with your spirituality at all. Your mental life can be very much affected, again, for the better or for the worse, if you don't mentally prepare yourself as an empath, or in my case, partially empathic. For me, it's being able to sense emotions of what other people are giving off, knowing what's, behind the brave face that everybody's wearing, and being able to realize that there's something wrong whenever everybody else thinks everything's okay. So, yes, your mental, if you don't mentally block some of the stuff that comes in, or you don't filter it out, some people do go crazy over this. I mean, you have so many emotions coming after, or coming not after you, but at you from other people that are just projecting them out, and don't even realize it some of the times that they're projecting such emotion. And if you don't filter a lot of that stuff out, you can, basically have a mental breakdown. But if you are surrounded by people who are joyous of life and, everybody's having a great day, you can have a natural high. Your physical life, you can have headaches, joint aches, pains of all sorts. I know for me, seeing somebody in physical pain really gives me a physical pain, and that's why I could never work in the medical profession, because I can't stand to see people in pain. Dead bodies is one thing, I can deal with that, but whenever I see people in physical pain, that's a whole different story. So, and then can it be mistaken for illness by others when you when really you're just not controlling it, or you don't know how to control it. It very well can be mistaken as a mental illness. People who don't control it or don't know how to control what comes at them, they may have a mental breakdown, or they may, be getting something, coming from one person, and they take it the wrong way, or they just lash out because they're like, you're so angry, I'm going to just lash out at you, even though their anger had nothing to do with them. They didn't say anything to them or anything like that. Or you may just be angry for no apparent reason, but the person sitting, 3 feet away from you who you never met, is fuming. That type of stuff can happen. And you end up getting angry and have this rage, and you don't know how to deal with it. People can then mistake you for having, outbursts and stuff like that. It can be very bad. So it can be mistaken as a mental illness if you don't know how to control it, or you don't know how to at least filter out what you are and are not willing to allow, within your perimeter. Which actually is a nice segue into the next question, or request for a topic, and it comes from Kaneko 77777, a lot of sevens. And this one is basically the basic magic defense and basics of mental combat. They requested that we do a video on that. So, magical defense, basic, simple. I use it all the time. Anytime that I feel like, especially whenever, I have any type of ghost or apparition, or, any type of spirit around me that I don't recognize, I do this almost immediately. I will envision myself in a bubble, and I will push everything that is not familiar to me away. Now, physical things like my cats and dog can still come towards me, other people can still come towards me, but everything that is not familiar to me, spiritually, or in a familiar energy, I push away. I just use my energy just to put up those walls of the bubble, and I just say, go away. As long as if this bubble is up, and I keep it pretty much up all the time, just because, I don't want anything coming towards me or at me without my, acknowledgement. So I pretty much keep it up all the time. But, if it's familiar to me, I say, come on in the bubble. You're allowed. So, basically, you just envision yourself in a bubble, and you just imagine, I imagine like a silvery white energy just encompassing all around me, above me, below me, everywhere. And I just put myself, almost like you're blowing bubbles, and you just whoop, put a big bubble around you, and just push everything out. So that's basic magic defense. And mental combat is, I don't want to simplify this too much, but basically telling the boogeyman to go away. It's actually more effective than you think. If you tell something to go away, that they are not welcome in your mind, that their energy is not welcome there, tell it to go away and not return. In most cases, this will always work. In most cases. For the more extreme cases, you would want to do your research and find out what other external forces might be playing a part. So, Excuse me. So that's basically it. And as far as this magical defense and mental combat, you can definitely use this in your empath life, because if you're not letting those emotions get in your bubble, then you kind of cut yourself off. Now remember, don't cut yourself off too much, because if you do, then, you know, you're just not going to have fun. Life is about having fun and living it. And if you don't receive human emotions from other people, then you're not really living life. Not saying that you have to pick up on everybody's emotions. I'm just saying that you should be reciprocal to the human emotions, the vast array. You know, if somebody that you love is hurting, go ahead and hurt with them. Sympathize with them. Just remember, don't cut yourself completely off from everybody. So, otherwise you don't, you know, you don't experience the full melancholy that is the vast array of emotions. So, mental combat, you know, same thing with empathy. Tell people that that energy, those emotions that are coming towards you, tell them that they're not welcome. Send them away. You know, put up your bubble, let a certain amount of stuff come in, don't let the rest in. So, that's about all that I have for this week. I'm going to try to edit this down, make it a little bit more comprehensible. And I think next week is Subs Week. So until then, until the next time I see you in February, may you have a great day and a better tomorrow. Bye-bye.